Hello everyone and welcome to another cast by Shiki Starcraft. This is going to be a 1 vs 1 here on Kulos Ravine, and this is the high level gold as the replay has been sent to me by Slush. That was the description. It's going to be the blue Protoss spawning here in the top left corner against Chia, the red Terran spawning in the bottom left corner. And like I said, 1 vs 1 here on Kulos Ravine, higher up in the gold division. Both players getting started out here fairly standard, building up their probes. This map is actually fairly interesting for this combination. It actually gives a lot of leeway room for Thor drops, Thor ships as people like to call it. It's easily blocked off here with the choke point with one barracks and one supply depot. And then the back entrance, of course, has 2 sets of destructible rocks, which protects your one of your natural expansions. And there's also a natural expansion just outside your base as well. So Chia here getting a supply depot, and Slush getting his pylon up. And he's sending his scout out, and it looks like he's going to be getting lucky and scouting in the counterclockwise position, which would be the right direction. Chia has not scouted yet. Unfortunately, this will deny Slush's any chance at getting any intel from this base. Getting his gateway up here, looks like he's also going to be blocking. Are we going to see a forge or a second gateway here to block it off completely? Or maybe he'll put it off just to the side to create a really small choke point that only one unit can fit through? We'll see in a few minutes. We are getting gas here at Chia's base. Is he going to saturate it right away? It's usually a telltale sign of what kind of build the Terran is going to be going. Yes, all 3 right away. When he gets that second refinery, you know he's going for a gas-heavy build. If not, then he's probably going to be going for more Marauders, Marines type thing. Sometimes if we see this second geyser go up, he will be getting medevacs. But morphing into his orbital command now. That will give him a small economic boost. And yes, we are seeing a second gateway, not quite completely walled off. We are going to see just a small gap there. An Immortal can fit through there, which is very important. A lot of people see it and they think they can't fit an Immortal through. You can. You can fit Stalker, Zealot, Immortal. It's all good. Coming back, we're seeing a Cybernetics core coming up, as well as his second pylon. We're going to see some units. We are going to see 1 Zealot, probably to block off his choke point to see that nothing else can get any in or out of his base. We are going to see him scouting Chia, scouting with a Marine. Kind of odd. I believe they are a little bit slower than workers, but no worries, I guess. He does stop, so it's not quite efficient. You might as well set your rally points. And just so you know, you don't have to scout all the way back in the corner. By this time in the game, you really only have to scout to about right here in order to see anything at all, whether it's Zerg, Protoss, or Terran. And he is going to continue scouting in the counterclockwise position, so it's going to take him a while to even find out where his opponent is, let alone what his opponent is building. Slush already got both gases going. If we look here in Chia's base, we can see he is researching, well, he just finished researching concussive shells for those Punisher grenades, and he's getting a 3rd barracks up. He does have his 2nd refinery, so I'll bet you we'll see dropships or tanks. Sorry, not dropships. Medevacs or tanks. We are also seeing Warp Gate now being researched. Oh, it's been going for quite a while, and it's about 2/3 done. We are going to see a 3rd gateway as well. Are we going to see a robotics facility? That is very popular against Terran. There aren't many builds that Terran can utilize that, well, I should say early game or at least mid game, that Immortals aren't good against. Marauders, tanks, you name it, 2 of the biggest, even Thors. But yes, 2 of the biggest units from the Terran arsenal are, well, 3 of the biggest units, I should say. Immortals are good counters for. We're going to see here in Chia's base, he is going to take down 1 set of destructible rocks, likely to set up his first expansion here, which is guarded by these destructible rocks and a Xel'Naga watchtower. So not only can you fortify this with the rocks, but you can get a very nice sight boost from this Xel'Naga watchtower and see any incoming units. We are seeing a small push out here with 3 zealots and 2 sentries. Can't really call that a timing attack, as that could have been done a long time ago. But it looks like he's going to fortify the Zelnaga Watchtower to see what's going on here. By now we know that the Terran knows where Slush is, which is the top left corner, obviously. We are seeing stim packs being upgraded, and a Twilight Council coming out. So this is something I really like to do, especially if you're going Zealots Sentries, is get the Zealot charge as soon as possible. Looks like he is also getting a Forge. Hopefully we'll see ground level 1 upgrades. So we've got our first engagement here, setting up Guardian Shield, and a couple nicely placed force fields are going to trap some of these Terran units in. Unfortunately, it also works against him, meaning that his Zealots can't actually have to go all the way around just to get to these remaining Marauders and Marines. And with these concussive shells, without speed, these Zealots are going to have a hard time dealing with this group here, as they do slow them down, and they can do a quick hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, pulling back, slowly micromanaging your units. Works really well against this Protoss force. That is why I absolutely love getting Zealot charge. He hasn't started researching that yet, obviously, because the Terran is pushing and he needs to reinforce his army first. So we've got one Immortal here, which will definitely help against these Marauders. And do we have a second one coming? We don't. We have an Observer on the base. Let's look at the units. We don't have an Observer on the map yet. Going to income, we see fairly close in Harvesters. We might see our second engagement here. Looks like the Protoss Slush is going to come around for a flank. This is going to work really well. Unfortunately, these Marauders can't do their hit and run, and a couple really nice, perfectly placed force fields allow this Protoss force just to demolish this Terran force. Chia's in bad shape here. He's got to retreat. He needs to macro up some units quick, because if the Protoss person does choose to push out at this point, he's definitely going to be in trouble. Looking at the army, it is fairly outnumbered. Even though the population is close, the worthwhileness of the